Hello, everybody. It's August 20th, 2021. Time for another Chuck Chat. I always like to start off with a little humor. So, kids are playing video games, and the mom says, "Time for you kids to play outside." And the daughter says, "Fine." So they start an outside video game. Essay: What I did on my summer vacation. You mean you haven't been following me on Twitter all summer? How do you turn this thing on? It's a book. You just open the book. The steely-eyed stares, the tension, the screams. Sounds like you've been watching Shark Week. Nope, just back to school shopping. So, our numbers since this all began with COVID-19, our resident numbers have stayed the same at 29 cases over the last few months. Associates, we've had 45 cases, no active cases at this time for our residents or associates. We're very blessed, and I appreciate you all cooperating with the precautions and restrictions that we put in place. Total tested to date, this includes resident staff and private caregivers. There have been almost 10,000 tests that we've done at Westminster. Our infection rate's 1.01%, which is awesome. No longer testing vaccinated residents or associates unless they're symptomatic. 99.6% of our residents are vaccinated. 100% are vaccinated in assisted living and healthcare, and 99.6% in independent living. And those folks are allergic to vaccines or have a comorbidity that keeps them from getting the vaccine. 89% of our associates are vaccinated year to date. The Board of Governors did approve a policy requiring vaccinations for all associates, private duty and home health providers working within Westminster. All associates are required to be vaccinated by October the 16th as a condition of employment. And so we're working on the other 11% to get them vaccinated as soon as possible. Conducting vaccination clinics here. We're also requiring private sitters and home health providers to be vaccinated. 2 times per week, testing of unvaccinated associates is taking place because Travis County's positivity rate is at 13.9%, I believe, so above 10%. Westminster COVID precautions: everyone on Westminster campus, including residents, are required to wear a mask when outside of their apartment home or when in your home and receiving services, regardless of your vaccination status. We have restricted visitation to no more than 2 visitors per resident. No guests are allowed in the dining room. No guests are allowed for activities. Guests are not allowed to meet in the community's common spaces. Visits should take place in the resident's apartment only. Transportation services have been limited to essential trips only. All activities involving transportation off campus are canceled until further notice. That those precautions stay in effect. Again, no guest in the audience for activity programs. We only quarantining after a person is, if a person is symptomatic or had positive contact with a person that has, or direct contact with a person that is positive for COVID. We do ask that you wear your mask properly at all times when outside of your home or when receiving services in your home or when you have visitors. Continue to practice good hygiene, washing and or sanitizing your hands often, especially when you're out in public spaces. Avoid touching your face or your mask. Avoid unnecessary travel. Avoid non-essential shopping or dining outside of Westminster. Avoid gatherings outside of Westminster. Practice social distancing whenever possible, so at least 6 feet when you're wearing a mask. Stay home if you're ill. That's the most important part. Stay home if you're ill. If you're ill and you need help, contact reception, contact the nurse practitioner, the wellness clinic, and we will get you services in your apartment. Health center visitation guidelines are pretty much the same. Visitation is open for healthcare and assisted living with normal visiting hours. Please follow all precautions and guidelines, including wearing masks, screening in, hand washing, and sanitize. Please contact Health Services Reception if you have any questions. All visitors, including independent living residents, must screen in to both the arbor and the assisted living and wear masks at all times. This includes a temperature check. This includes visitors, residents from independent living. Visits are limited to 2 at one time, and we would like you to schedule those visitations. Delta variant's been in the news so much, but it is much more contagious than the original virus. You are twice as likely to go, it is twice as likely to cause hospitalization. Cough and loss of smell and taste are less common with the Delta variant. More common is headache, sore throat, runny nose, and fever. So definitely, if you have any of those symptoms, please do not leave your apartment. Contact us immediately. Vaccination is the best protection against the Delta variant. Vaccination will most likely prevent folks from going to the hospital, even if they do come down with Delta variant. Booster shots. For right now, we're asking that you contact your physicians. It is likely that Westminster will receive booster shots, and we'll be giving those out, and we'll do clinics similar to what we did for the original shots, the first COVID vaccine shots. But we are waiting until we receive official guidelines and our pharmacy partners reach out to us. We've reached out to them. They're waiting on supply and guidelines as well. But as soon as we get those in place, we'll have those clinics. For now, if you're concerned and you want to get the booster shot, the best thing to do is to contact your physician directly. Question and answers. I'm sorry I received some questions this morning, but I wasn't able to get to those. I will do my best to answer those next time. For this chat, we have just a few questions. Are the benches in the Preston building corridors being replaced? Yes, we are replacing the benches in the Preston corridors. We're working on ordering those. And I think we need to replace about 12 of them so far. Likely they'll be what we're doing in the Preston lobby or something similar to that. Question, there are signs by the elevators that warn residents not to use elevators in case of fire, but to use the stairs. What arrangements are made for all residents in IL who use walkers and wheelchairs and cannot navigate the stairs? Westminster maintains an evacuation status for all residents, which is updated as needed. This would indicate who needs to be prioritized in receiving assistance for evacuation. We also have a building that's designed and built into fire zones, which allows for 2-hour fire rating between the zones, allowing us time to evacuate as needed from each zone. If residents are totally dependent and need complete support to get down the stairs, then we have a device called a striker evacuation chair that we can use for those dependent residents. They support residents up to 600 pounds and allows for one person to transport those individuals down the stairs. Most residents are able to evacuate using the stairs. Even if you're using a walker, a lot of residents can still use stairs, and we'll be helping them. The fire department will be here helping them. We will as well. The likelihood that we ever have to evacuate the entire building is pretty unlikely. Like I said, that's a concrete construction. It's built into fire zones, and it's unlikely that the fire would move to multiple zones without being extinguished first. Question, when will the Bistro reopen? Well, the contractor is on track to complete the Bistro work by the end of December of this year. Given the logistics and the holiday schedule around this time of year, we anticipate opening the Bistro on Tuesday, January the 4th, so less than 5 months away. So, I know it's been a wait and an inconvenience, but it's coming. Construction update, just to give you a little idea of where we're at. You can see that we're making steady progress. They're removing the shoring on all the floors, except for the 5th floor here. You can see the shoring, and the 4th floor it's got some shoring, but they'll be removing this early next week. The top concrete level has been poured. So that's why we're going to be having a topping off party soon. The Windsor Tower, making great progress. They've started on the exterior. They'll be putting the stone and brick on soon. So they're going to start on this section of the building first. They are also going to be cutting into this slab at the Harrisbell Hall area, so that they're making this area lighter, so Harrisbell Hall can be extended out to about that line right there, and then there'll be a deck that's built above this roof of the restaurant. So it's really going to be nice. We also have pergolas that are being installed in front of the restaurant. The reason that they're starting on this section of the building first is so that they get out of our courtyard and can give it all back to us as quickly as possible. So hopefully we'll be getting that back late this year. This is a construction timeline. I can show you that this big pink line here, that's the 24th. That's the topping off celebration. Lots going on. I'm not going to go through it all, but you can see that we're making steady progress. The roof deck is completed, as I said. The locker area plumbing has occurred. The debris is being cleaned up in preparation for your walkthroughs on the 24th. Lots of progress being made. The curtain walls are coming up. The studs in the Windsor building, the expansion of the Windsor, have been put up. We have sheetrock on half of it. So really a lot of progress being made. So much, just too much to go over at this, but I'll try to include these in a booklet at the desk so you can look at them and just keep track of the construction. So the last concrete pour, as I said, occurred on the 17th. So this week, the Carlisle topping off is that event is occurring on August the 24th. It starts at 10 a.m. There'll be light refreshments. Residents are welcome to come if they'd like to get a tour of the first floor. That'll have the commons, and also it's the first floor of the Windsor Tower. The Bistro, you'll be able to see that area as far as we've gotten at least. Bridge number 2 is complete. That's the bridge between the Preston building and the pool area. That is complete. We have not received official approval to use it, but I think residents may be doing that. I haven't seen them, but that's the rumor. We should be getting inspection on that and approval shortly. And you know what working with the city is like sometimes. The demo for Harrisbell Hall edition will happen over the next couple weeks. It's going to be noisy at times. Cutting concrete and chipping away concrete is a noisy activity. There will be noise during the day, but we will continue to have activities in the evening in Harrisbell Hall. The drive between the Windsor and Preston is open, but just a reminder, please do not drive north of this driveway. The construction area on the west and north of the Windsor is very congested. It's really not safe for residents to drive vehicles through there. So please try to do your best to avoid it. Just some timeline highlights. So again, this is the 24th topping off celebration. The last concrete pour occurred. We were actually expecting that to be later on this month. So I think the 23rd was what was scheduled, and we beat that. So, you know, it's actually in some ways ahead of schedule a little bit. The tower crane will be moved on September the 23rd. The work complete on Windsor Tower facing the courtyard should be in the middle of October. So that's good news. Harrisbell Hall edition will be completed at the 21st of December. So we'll be using that room to some degree since the construction wall has been built, but we should have, and we'll have to shut it down for a few weeks while we do the connection of the new space to the old space and put the new carpet in, things like that. But it should be turned over completely to us on the 21st of December. The Bistro will be completed on the 27th. Like I said, we'll probably open it for business on the 4th. The Carlisle will be dried in the end of this year. The Windsor exterior work should be completed by the end of November, and the Carlisle exterior work should be completed by the end of January. So really lots of progress being made. We will finish this project by the end of 22. So the tower infill will open April 4th, 5th, somewhere in there, and we'll start moving in residents. I'll be sending out some information about a event that we're having for the new Windsor residents. We're going to have a little prospect event for them and invite a few of the current residents to that, just to kind of welcome them, and we'll tour them of their new building. Community update. So all of the snowbid repairs have been completed. Snowbid, the winter storm, thankfully, has been put behind us now. Preston Boiler Project is still permitting stage. Emergency planning and system evaluation continues. The chiller issues with the Windsor building and the mobile chiller that's in place, the chiller issues should be repaired this week or next week. And we're waiting on just a couple of small parts in the HVAC. Once those parts arrive and that repair has been made, then we'll remove the mobile chiller that served us well over the last few months. The air conditioning issues in the kitchen. There has been a temporary unit put in place. The bid was signed. The equipment has been ordered. So it should be just a few weeks before we have it in and installed. We're redoing some duct work, so it'll be a nice, cool kitchen soon. It's been a really great year for Westminster in achievements. Some of the most recent, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but we were nominated for best of the best, top 5. And now we have been notified that we're top 3, and they won't announce who the winner is until I think late September. So we're waiting for that, but we hope to do well there. We also reaffirmed our BBB rating, and this is including our debt service on our new expansion. So that's really impressive that we were able to maintain that BBB rating. And I hope that our operations over the next few years push us beyond that. We also completed refinancing for the expansion. Actually, while the expansion continued, we were able to lock in tax exempt bonds for the expansion at 3.38%, which is an extraordinary win for Westminster. It really further secures Westminster's future, and it saves us millions of dollars over the life of the bonds. So if you see Sarah Lloyd, congratulate her. It's a lot of her work, and it's been a busy several weeks for both of us, but great job, team. Just a reminder, please do not push the emergency stop buttons in the pool area unless there is a true emergency. Pushing that emergency stop button shuts down the pool, the filtration system, and the temperature control. The button is required by building code to be there, but we really need to only use it if there is an emergency. Please do not press the button other than that. We don't want to shut down the pool. We want to make sure that it's chlorinated properly and it's a proper temperature. Please don't push the emergency stop button on either the pool or the hot tub unless there is a true emergency. Just a friendly reminder from your neighbors, please pick up your laundry timely when you're washing your clothes in the laundry rooms. Set a timer for yourself to remind you if you need to. And most of you have smartphones. You can set a timer on your smartphone. So please try to pick up your laundry and don't leave it there for somebody else to remove. Star cards can be used for any associate, including those in management and supervisor positions. So anybody that wants to fill out a star card can pick them up at reception, and please fill them out, turn them in. They will be passed on to the associates. The Alzheimer's fundraising t-shirts are available at any reception desk. So if you're interested in getting one and you want to look cool like me, because I've got one on today, it's a donation to Alzheimer's Texas that gets you the shirt, and the t-shirt's $15, the polo's $25. you can buy both for a good deal, $35, and you'll be, getting that new shirt and look cool like the rest of us and be on our team. So it's a tax deductible donation. Also, we're having a Westminster phone-a-thon, so you may get some phone calls on August the 26th if you haven't donated already. We really appreciate all the donations we received thus far. And anybody who would like to participate in the phone-a-thon, please volunteer and reach out to Jordan Bleeker at 512-454-4643, and you could participate with me and the rest of the leadership team in phoning and getting pledges for donations for Alzheimer's Texas. It's a great cause that affects a lot of people. Alzheimer's disease does, and you could sit there with us and participate in the phone-a-thon and help our team fundraise for Alzheimer's Texas. And I would love to see you all there. That event is on August 26th. Westminster silent auction supporting Alzheimer's Texas. This is another great opportunity. We'll be having that on September the 24th. So just keep that in mind. This is a great place to purchase some pretty cool items. There are also tax deductible donations being accepted for this, and all of the proceeds go to Alzheimer's Texas. And there's some really cool baskets and prizes in there. So please consider participating in that event. National Senior Citizens Day is August the 21st, 7 o'clock to 8:30 in Harrisville Hall. We'll be having old friends revive some of the most cherished tunes from the 20s through the 70s on guitar, fiddle, piano, banjo, and percussion. So should be a pretty neat event. Desserts and drinks will be served, so enjoy that. Lots of upcoming events, so watch out for all of the things that are happening around the campus. Lots of great events that Ruth and the activities committee are putting on. We are having a speakeasy themed dinner this month, August the 27th, 5 to 7 in the Laurel Dining Room. Dress up, enjoy excellent food and live music and a great menu. Thank you all for participating in the Turning the Tide event. That was an all LCS community event that happened last night and yesterday. Appreciate everybody participating in that. It was great to see everybody there. And the nautical theme was really cool. The Speakeasy themed dinner, great entrees, bourbon barbecue ribs, whiskey glazed salmon, spaghetti and meatballs. I mean, all that's pineapple upside down cake for dessert. So it looks like a great event as well. So make sure that you participate. A new monthly sing-along with residents is occurring August 31st at 7 p.m. That's our first in a long time. So hope everybody shows up for that. That should be a great event as well. And appreciate everybody participating. Thank you again for making Westminster an extraordinary place to live and work. And until next month, thank you very much. Stay strong, stay safe. Appreciate it.